Jak się masz? Today we are still locally in Mortehoe and we are going to investigate a little cove and jump over the rocks. I have discovered last year and I was always wondering where that can lead us. So I think it's about time to finally check where can we go and how far can we jump. You did see the area just at the very beginning of that movie. Exactly the rocks we will be seeing in a second ahead of us. As you can see, the cliffs are not like super high, and that is the place we are going to see today. It's absolutely nice and beautiful all around here. On our right hand is Rockham Beach, and on our left hand, far away, is a Morte point. So yeah, this is exactly where we will try to jump. I think we have to go over that mountain first, and then there is like a little tiny cove, and yeah, that's where we start our adventure on the rocks. We'll see where that leads us, how far we can go. As you can see right now, we are at the top of the hill and we got a full view. What we could probably, with the lower tide, we could probably save ourselves a little bit of climbing and cut right to the point you can see right now. This is our entry point. Hopefully didn't overgrow too much this year. So yeah, basically, as far as I can see right now, there is not much to climb up in a case of failure. And we got 2 meter 40 centimeters low tide times this today, which is right now, and the water is not back like great back, but yes, I do remember walking that beat before, and we managed to climb up somewhere there on the first platform, if I could remember. Alright, we'll see. I definitely know that what I discovered on the last trip, at some point behind the second mountain, you can see behind the second climb, there is like a deep cut. I even think this is the one actually before. That's a massive cut you can see. And that may be, yeah, you cannot pass that, and there is too many brambles and bushes on that little bit of green between two coves, so that may make us to just jump back over those rocks. But the first issue is I can see the water is already quite high. So yeah, I just wonder if we may discover a lot today or not a lot at all, and we will have to come back with nothing. We'll see. As always, we'll see. Okay, right next to the gate that divides open area from the pastures on the Morte point, we are trying to search the footpath going down. I know it's somewhere here, I just cannot see it very clearly. next time. Anyway, it is time to leave the safety of the Southwest Coast path, and we will try to get down there. Yeah, I think this is the path. Well, overgrown. Not many people knows about this spot, so not many people comes here. I hope nothing on the site collapsed in the meantime over the winter, so I won't end up in some deep hole below the cliff. And here we come to the very deep cut on one side, but on this side supposed to be relatively nice and easy, and it is. I think we can easily call it like a secret spot, nice secret spot. You got enough space to just sit on a cliffside, and the access to the water is not very steep, so you can easily get down into those rocks and also into those coves around. Like I said, difficult to say which will be easier, going around over the hill or jump those rocks from Rockham Beach. Okay, it's time to go down and assess the situation, check the water levels and see how safely it is to undertake exploration. As you can see, there will be no quick run over those rocks, as they are sharp, spiky rocks. They provide a good grip for your foot and for your hand, but they are not the fast moving surface like a pebbles or anything down on the beach. There will be number of spots like this that will require a little climb. Okay, we are basically on a water level now. The water is not far. It's not far, and on our last visit we did watch how quickly water just flooded that particular channel between the rocks. I think it is safe to see what's behind the bend, at least. You do know that cove, probably from my last trip in this place, which was a year ago, if not even later than a year ago. I mean earlier. Tiny cove that yeah, promise a lot when you look at it from the Rockham Beach, but actually you find not a lot of interesting things in here. And our point of interest is that side and those rocks. I'm gonna show you that climbing here is not like super difficult deal. You got a lot of balances on the rocks, and like I said, plenty of grip for your shoes, even if you don't have proper climbing shoes, to be honest, and also for your hands. And right now we're just going, look at those rocks, how perfectly they are situated, so you can even climb with one hand, using the second one to simply hold your camera. And that is a not nice bit in here. I will probably have to put my camera down for a moment. In order to use both hands. The rocks in here are still a bit wet from the high tide time. Okay, Wicca just came to another cut. As you can see, and that may be or maybe not the end of the trip. So as I said, deep cut filled with water. Even if I could go down on this side, yeah, that will be a climb to the other side. And like I said, from here there is no more escape anymore. You have to come back. Because down there you could probably see the waves pounding all the way up, or right now. Yeah, down there is even bigger cove. It's a proper cut, just like the one we just passed, with the little beach inside and pretty much almost vertical walls. The one you could see on our last trip, I expect. So yeah, going up takes us nowhere because we will have the bit of brambles to exactly up here to pass on the way back. But I think it's quite easy to check it. We should be able to relatively easy climb up here. And then we can see what's waiting at the top. Perhaps we don't have to come back over the rocks. Ha ha ha, that is a... yeah. Few places you have to be very careful in here. But overall, a beautiful ladder to climb. And here we are. We just landed on another platform sticking out into the sea. That is another area that slides into the water. Up there, as you can see, well, up here and up there, around the cove, tons of ferns and brambles and God knows what else. So yeah, we will have to go down and jump over the rocks. On the top of this, that is the second of those cuts, and I know the southwest coast path has to be shifted up already because of that cove cut so deep inland. They have to shift the southwest coast path slightly up already at least once. So yeah, we don't want to really go on the edge of those those cliffs. We don't know the state of it right now. You can see the people on the top of the southwest coast path. I wonder if they can see us. Anyway, let's go down and go back to the cove. Here we are. And here we are, back in relative safety. So I think we go back up there and we can see how it all looks from above. That is something what looks like some kind of platform or something. So perhaps at some point years ago it was accessible for people. Let's see that second deep cut. Wow! Haha! I just dipped myself in the water. Beautiful. That's the one leg of the cut. The rocks here are still slightly wet, and because they're salty, they are always a bit slimy and slick. That's always the danger. And I just fall a victim of that. As you can see, luckily the shoes are proper leather, so no wet inside, at least. Okay. This is exactly the part we could see from the top, because that's where we're going right now, up to the top there. Now you got a view of what I can see when I climb those. Oh no! I was mistaken. We didn't see that cut. This is a new one. That is another piece of land sticking, another platform, and we did see that cut. Yeah. Let's explore it a bit. You have to be careful. Very algaed rocks, if that's the proper word. Sometimes during the climb you need the skills like a circus worker, acrobat, like on this ridge. Haha! Here we are. It will be a lot of sea rubbish, as it always is in places like that. Water push all the crap in. All the plastic and other nasty things just turning over in the water together with the algae, seaweed and other stuff. All right. Okay, let's climb up. Let's climb up, because it's not a lot of interesting things in here. As you can see, there is a lot of sort of like caves. They are simply cracks between the layers of rocks, which means that's the reason why it's all cracked and why it all goes down and why those cliffs collapse. So again, it is very important to be careful even up there, because you never know when that crack appears at the surface, and if it's overgrown with the grass, you may not even be aware you're already walking over the crack or massive hole on a sort of like a bridge from the soil and grass. And if that collapses, you may be in a big trouble. Not a long time ago, about 3, if I could remember, years ago, there was a guy trapped just like that in a shaft, mine shaft in Cornwall. He did ignore the signs telling not to go off the southwest coast path because there is still plenty of openings, and the shafts that collapsed and they open on the top of the ground, and he collapsed into one of the shafts, which was literally like that hole in there. He wedged himself, and the rescue took, I think, 36 hours or something like that. They got a problem to get him out of there because there was just a literally space for one person wedged. He wasn't able to grab anything. They weren't able to get down to him, and yeah, it was quite a rescue action. Quite a rescue action to get him out. But this is the beauty of it. That's why I love all those trips. I mean, I'm scared things, but you know, it always gives you that little bit of adrenaline rush. Whatever you let yourself for, not too much, but enough to give you like a little rush of emotions. Okay, we are up here, and it's time to see everything from above.
Devon Devon
exploration of today. That's pretty much it for today. From that beautiful, peaceful, almost private place I discovered over the years here on the North Devon coastline. It's really beautiful. Access is fairly easy and you can be on your own in here. Really not many people know that place. I know few places like that on the coastline, some even easier, with easier access, but also not everybody knows about it. It's a beautiful place really if you wanna come here and have a peace of mind, watch the nature, watch the ocean, cool down. What else can I say? It's just amazing. Just sitting here and do nothing all day long, if only weather permits. So that's it for today from exploration. It was a bit unsuccessful, but still, I mean, you know, a little bit of gymnastics and calisthenics, climbing those rocks. Like I said, every now and then I come back in this place just to sit and relax and have a nice time out of people, far away from people and everybody. I see you on another exploration. Don't forget to subscribe and high five!